New York City. If you make it here, you can make it anywhere. New York is a global center for music, advertising, television, and radio. Here are the stories of two media personalities. These two Latino role models share how they started as communicators, their connection with their audience, and their experience in mass media.
Hi, my name is Luis Jimenez, and I do a comedy morning show here in New York City. And we've been doing all right.
Luis Jimenez, a very successful Puerto Rican radio figure. He is the creator and host of his own self-named radio comedy show, The Luis Jimenez Show. It is New York's #1 Spanish-language morning radio program. Here's his story.
I've been on the radio for more than 20 years, I think. Actually, I started when I was 15, and I'm 39 now, so I'm very bad at math. Since I was a little kid, I always wanted to visit a radio station. I didn't make it until I was bigger because my father said, if you ever bring good grades, I'll take you to Disney World. I said, no, I want to go to a radio station. But I never had good grades, so I went on my own eventually. And I loved it. I love the fact that what you create in people's minds with the sounds that you produce. Yeah.
My name is Malin Falu. I am the host of a national program of public service called Diálogo de Costa a Costa. That means dialogue from coast to coast.
Malin Falu, a very successful Latina role model. She started as a model back in Puerto Rico. Malin was also host of the Puerto Rican version of the TV show Soul Train back in 1973. Malin also worked for many years in Radio Wado in New York City. And currently, she is a TV host whose main goal is to bring her audience topics of social interest for the Hispanic community.
Dígame usted, y aquí tenemos una información.
Here's her story.
I used to come to Radio Wado to advertise or to talk about the shows. In that time, the general manager of the radio station met me, and I was on the air being interviewed, and one day I received a phone call. Can you start tomorrow because we have an emergency? And I say, well, okay. And I started on radio. And that was in 1978. And I stayed for 10 years.
I started as a DJ assistant in this station. It was a ballad station, soft music. And I got in there. They introduced the guy. Hey, this is Joe. This is Luis. I say, hey, nice to meet you, Joe. He says, all right, so I'll be right back, okay? And he went into the recording studio to do a commercial. He left me in the studio assuming that I hadn't, I had some radio experience, which I didn't. It was my first time I was so close to a radio equipment. The song ended, and I didn't know what the heck I was gonna do, so I just brought all the buttons up, every knob that I could find, I just opened it, and I started testing buttons until a song came out. And I was fascinated by the fact that, I solved that problem, the first time I was in a radio station, and I felt in control. That was good.
One day, they put me in the night shift, and I was mad as hell because I say, nobody hear radio in the night. I'm going to be alone with the dead people, I used to say. And you know how much the ratings went up in that radio station? 700%. Because people wanted to hear me. And people here, they wanted to see me. When
I first got to New York, I remember the station that I started was like number 18 in the market, whatever. And the station manager said, what we want to do is be #1 in New York. And I laughed. I said, #1? From number 18, how we're going to make this into a #1? But then that's the goal. That's what the boss said you have to do. So you start working and putting all the energy that you can into it. And all of a sudden you open your eyes and yes, you are #1 and people are loving what you're doing because they're having fun, they're having a good time. And I never get tired of hearing people, you know, saying how much they enjoy the show or something that we did, you know. It's great. I'll never get tired of that.
And I don't try to be pedantic or, you know, like I'm better than everybody. No, I am like everybody else, and maybe that's why people connect with me, because when they see me, a person told to my boss, you know, Malin make me like she's in the middle of my living room, and I say, oh wow, that's nice, no? And that's how people perceive you, because I try to be a reflection of themselves.